Hi, my friend. Let's walk through the Psalms together. Profound Psalm, Psalm 4. It's a prayer of confidence David has. A God in whom he knows all his attributes, that God is righteous, God is just. And so David pens these beautiful words of encouragement to you and to me in this hour that we find ourselves in. Answer me when I call, God. David is calling on God's attributes, his righteousness, his justice, his holy, his magnificent, the God we serve. And he says the following, who vindicates me. He has obviously experienced the vindication of the Lord in his own life. And he says, look guys, God vindicates me even when my enemies rise up against me. God is the one that is for me. God's not against me, even in the middle of affliction. God is with me and God is for me. You freed me from the afflictions. Be gracious to me and hear my prayer. He's coming from a point of confidence, not a point of weakness. Confidence in the attributes of God. He knows that God is righteous. He knows that God has called him. He knows that God is his good shepherd. He'll never leave him nor forsake him. He knows the beauty of God's beauty in the midst of affliction. And he goes on in verse 2, he says, how long? Oh, my friend, you might be asking the same question. How long? How much longer the silence? How much longer the pain? How much longer the suffering? How much longer the anxiety? I've got good news for you. Put your confidence in God's attributes. Put your confidence in God. And look what he says. Will my honor be insulted? How long will you love what is worthless and pursue a lie? Know the Lord has set apart the faithful for himself. Oh, I think that is so marvelous. It gives us another attribute of God. Not only is he just, not only is he righteous, but my friend, he's faithful. He is faithful to be with you in every affliction that you face in life. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter what you're going through. God is with you, as he was and is, and will always be with us. Look at his word. He says, no, the Lord has set apart the faithful for himself. God has called you. God has equipped you. God has made you the person that you are. He deserves the honor. He deserves the praise. For this purpose, God created man to glorify God and to enjoy him. Oh, his attributes are so marvelous and so wonderful. Look what he says in verse 4. He says, be angry and do not sin. On your bed, reflect in your heart and be still. There's a time in our lives where we need to set ourselves apart for God, where we are silent. And the pain sometimes is so severe that nobody understands, but God does. It's at that hour that we set ourselves apart, that we are still before God, to hear his voice, to enable him to speak. Many are asking, who can show us anything good? Let the light of your face shine on us, O Lord. You have put more joy in my heart than they have when their grain and new wine abound. I will both lie down and sleep in peace. For you alone, Lord, make me live in safety. It's God who gives us peace like a river. When everything around us is in turmoil, we have peace in our lives because we know the attributes of God, that God is righteous, and God is just. Let's pray together. Father, help us to be still and know that you're God. Help us to quieten the busyness of our minds and our hearts, and help us to trust you in all things.